Okay.
All right, welcome everybody. It's our first presenter is Katie tonight, and let me double check on the list. All right. We have I present list. And what I would like to do is, well, between the presenters, we can just talk briefly about the presenters and give some feedback. But if you want more questions, more detail, we will wait until the end. So today, while we're waiting, Daniel, Katie will pick up the slot for 6 to 6:10. So you have 10 minutes.
Okay. So I just share my screen.
Sure.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know if I know. Do I do it on? All right. I'll just do it.
Right on the screen, it says share screen.
It's a green button.
Screen with computer sound, or do I share screen only?
Both. I think you need to be able to talk through it, right?
Okay. Sorry.
No problem. Take your time.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. So we can mute ourselves. The floor is yours.
Okay. So I made a slideshow. It's not like, can you still see my screen? I can't see your faces, so I need somebody to say yes or no.
Yes.
See.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so I did a slideshow, and I put links in it. So, and I aligned it to the ISTE standards, and I just kind of included things that I've used in my classroom that I feel has been the most successful for my students. And that I've got the best response from them, that they've liked it, that they're engaged. So I wanted to share all of those things with you. So the first that I've used is a website called Play Pose It. And what it is you can, I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but you can put a YouTube video or any kind of video into this website. And then this is a screenshot from it. And so at each, you can input questions. So you can have all your students, bring their headphones to class and they watch a video, and then you put the questions in. So you just give them the link and they can answer the questions as they watch the video, and they can't move on from the video until they answer the questions. This one is about the menstrual cycle because I'm a health teacher. I teach middle school, so if you're a middle school teacher, these are the class and the red lines are in the video when they were asked, and then it gives you their responses. So I just really like this tool. I think it's great. Instead of showing a video in front of the whole entire class, they get to work at their own pace, and it checks for understanding as they go through it. And this is something I've been trying to as much tech tools as I can. I'm lucky that I have access to Chromebook pretty much every single day. So I use a website that is screencast-o-matic, and I gave my students the option to, I gave them my PowerPoint, and I said they can read through it, and I gave them notes, or I did a screencast and take the notes, and that way pause it. And that worked really well. I have a huge English learner population, so that helped a lot for them because they have a really hard time reading on their own. Do you guys have any questions about either of those two things? Sorry, I had to. Yeah, I can't see your faces when it's on full screen.
Oh, looks good.
Okay.
Thank you. It looks great.
Okay, so another thing that I did, now this took like a lot of work for pre-planning, and it wasn't my entire idea, so I cannot take full credit for it. But what I did is for an assignment, so something I talk about is mental illness. Stop, Nick. Something I talk about is mental illness. And instead of giving them like some kind of project where they all do the same thing, my district's really about like having as many different, what's the word? Like they should have as many options as possible to like meet the objectives. So I did this thing called tasks where you can see the green box and the red box that I'll say like you have to research a mental illness, and you can either do 2 things in the green box or 1 thing in the red box, because the red box takes longer. And some things you can work with a partner, you can work by yourself, but it's like all different. They have a bunch of different options things to do. They could do like a poem, flashcards, things, and if you open one, then it's linked into a whole nother website. What I want for that assignment. Sorry, my dog's barking. And then I have an optional one. So if, my kids that work really fast or are more motivated, hold on, stop. Okay. So my kids that are more motivated, then they can do the optional. And then at the end of each class time that they fill out this Google form, which is just like, what are you working on today? What did you accomplish? What do you plan for next period? What do you need my help with? So I can look at it and see, okay, who needs my help? So it allows them to work like individually. Like I said, it kind of takes a lot to plan at first, but my students love it because they have so many options. So they really, what am I doing? So they really, like, their work is great. So I just want to show you some examples of that work. Here's one. This is like they did decision making, and this was their Snapchat story. So this is like their fake Snapchat. We don't have to read it, but it's cute. So they decided to work with a partner. Where else? Here's this one. This one is somebody, especially somebody who's a lower level learner. This was easy for them just to do like this poem. So I'm just trying to show you like the, it's good it can push people who are higher level learners, and if they're a lower level learner, they can still get the assignment done, and it's like not stressful for them. And this was supposed to be a picture book about making good decisions that 2 kids did. So that has been my favorite thing that I've done this year. And what else do I have? Do you guys have any questions or anything about any of that?
Nope.
Okay. And then another thing that I did with my 8th grade students, I teach the male and female reproductive systems, which can be really, really difficult to do with 8th grade, with 8th grade boys and girls. So I put them all in one slideshow. So instead of each person doing their own thing, I had 7 people in a slideshow, and they each had one part of the female reproductive system, and they had to work together to make the entire slideshow and tell me what the female reproductive system does. So they like that because it makes, I feel like sometimes for me doing this lesson is hard, and it can be boring if it's super just like sciencey, if I'm like, oh, this does this does that. So this allowed them to be a part of it, and it's not super awkward for them. And my last thing that I did that I want to show you is for, I sent this out for my colleagues. We have, we got a change in our grade book. So a lot of teachers are having a hard time knowing how to like put in their grades. So, you know, I just made a slideshow that it like shows them exactly what to do step by step. And that way, instead of everybody coming and asking the same questions 100 times, I just say, you know, here's everything. This is what you need to do. This, you know, this is what you need to do. You know, it's just a step-by-step guide that they can follow. And that really helped them. So this is how, you know, I communicate with my colleagues. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. I don't know how to stop.
Thank
Whoops.
you so much.
All
Good
right.
timing as well. All
Thank
right. Who wants to go next? Lauren? Ryan?
I just have to make my screen bigger here.
Sure. Sure. Take your time. And while we're waiting, Katie, I hope all will go well. I'm moving. I know I moved this August myself, so it was quite a challenge. So wish you good luck in your new endeavors. All right. We'll mute ourselves and we'll wait to see Lauren's screen.
I don't know.
We've graduated.
Oh,
Yay!
Congratulations. Don't forget, you graduate, but you haven't really let us go. We hope you will continue to get connected with us.
wait, I couldn't hear anything you were saying. You disconnected for like a minute.
No problem. I was just saying best wishes to you in your new endeavors.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's not as easy as, you know, good luck in everything.
Okay, I'm ready when you guys are.
We are ready.
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, so let me just share this. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right, so can you guys see yourself on the side of the screen, or is that just on mine? All right, let me minimize that because you don't need to look at yourself. So I decided to create a Google site to do mine just because I think it's neat and organized, and I can give it to an administrator for some type of interview if I wanted to. And I'm just going to show you a couple of things here. So one of the things I want to show you was something that I did last semester, and I'm pretty sure some of you were in the class with me. So we had to basically create a program, and I did something called Meet the Gods. And while this isn't applicable for everyone, it was definitely applicable for at least my grade level, and I know second grade also does Greek civilizations as well. So I had to create a program that students would be able to learn, you know, in a self-sufficient way. So this whole document explains what the program is, and then I just created a video that I'm just going to play because it basically explains it, so I don't have to, hopefully this will back out a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, everyone. So today I'm going to be showing you and talking about my program, Meet the Greek Gods. The purpose of the program is to help sixth grade students build background knowledge on certain Greek gods and goddesses that are alluded to in the novel The Lightning Thief, which many of you may know that they read that novel in the beginning of the school year. With that said, this program can also be used just to simply educate students about certain mythological figures, just for the sake of teaching them about them. So the ISTE standards that align with this program are designing and developing digital age learning experiences and assessments, and also facilitating and inspiring student learning and creativity. So I just want to give you an idea of how the program is set up and what students are able to do with it. So first of all, they're guided through the entire program by this character that I called Peter, and he's a satyr. And he's supposed to be the all-knowing character that kind of educates them and guides them in the right direction. So just for the sake of showing you how it works, when you click on one of these categories, it brings you to the activity. So Meet the Gods and Family Tree. When you click on this, it will make a noise, and it will bring up all of these other boxes. So if you want to learn more about Hera, you can click on Hera, and then it will show you all of these different things about her. So now you can either go to the main menu or you can go to the family tree. So the family tree is here for the students to look at as well. So they automatically can see that Kronos is kind of the top of everything. He is somehow how they are all.
So I won't make you watch the whole thing because I'm sure some of you already did from the class. But basically the whole thing is very interactive. It's very student-centered. And it can be done in groups or in pairs. And then at the end, there's a project where they have to learn how to use Glogster. And obviously associated with that, I did have notes in my write-up that kids might need to be shown how to use that if they haven't used it in the past, and teachers that are using it might need to be shown how to do that too. So that was just something that I felt like was really important, and I learned a lot about programming with it, and now I can definitely go out and teach other teachers about it. Does anybody have any questions about that?
No, that looks really cool.
Yeah, that looks so good. If that's what you did for your authorizing project, like, you totally killed mine.
It took forever.
Oh my God, I'm like blown away. That was so good.
Thank you.
Very well done. Thank you.
So when I go back here to this, I have some other things on here. I just have to find where I put it. So a huge part of my class, and first of all, on YouTube, I found these great videos that briefly explains what each of these standards is looking for, which if you need anything to help you with some type of administrator that is going to hire you regarding, our major, these were really, really helpful because I don't think that most people understand what they mean when they're just reading over them. So there's one for each standard, which is awesome. So it's there if we need it. So I also wanted to include my newsletter and my class website. So first of all, my last name on here is Rosenberger, but my last name now is Cullen because I got married, so I'm the same person. But I give this out every month, and I try to put as much information on it as possible because my parents often rely on this. I don't have much contact with them otherwise unless they give me a phone call. So I try to give them, updates and, what to look for in the future and what we're going to be covering in each subject. I give them helpful resources that they might need and dates that they have to remember, and then of course somehow to contact me. And I've shown quite a few teachers how to use this, and it's kind of been something that most of them are using now because it's so easy to look like you're creative, but I'm not really creative, so this looks good without me having to put much effort into it. Another thing that I always point out to people is that it tells you how many people have viewed it and how much time they viewed it for, how they got there, what they visited. So I really do try to push this with teachers in my building just because it gives you a little bit of data regarding, how your parents are using it as well. I also use it for other things. I have a whole figurative language web task that they do on here. So they're basically teaching themselves with their peers, which is great. Any questions about that?
Do you prefer using the S'more website to other? I've never used S'more. I've used like Google websites in the past, but do you think S'more is above or a better website to use to create things like this?
I think when you're working with parents and with students, definitely initially this is much more helpful because it's easier to maneuver through. So I'll pull up another flyer. I'll pull up my web task because that one really gives you a good idea.
It looks very like clean and professional looking.
Yes. So this is what I'm using with my kids now. And what I like about it is they're teaching themselves this, which is great because I can stand up there all day, like we know, and they're, it's not as beneficial for them. So I gave them an overview on here and examples and activities that they can do that were really fun. There's one where they're throwing a teacher after they get the correct amount of similes right, and they think it's hilarious. So they play it over and over, and they really do learn. You can put videos into here, so they put their headphones on and they watch this video, which was beneficial. And I did this for every single literary figurative language term that we went over. And I just gave them, today you're going to work on idioms. Today you're going to work on metaphors. And they really, they remember it, which is what you want. And it's just clean and it's easy to use. And all you have to do is send them the link. So I usually just post it on Google Classroom and they go to it and they, do the activity.
Yeah, that's good. You've added a lot of like multimedia content.
Which
really
I put the exit tickets in there. I just do that through Google Forms, and then it all comes to me anyway. So it really is. I love it because it's all there and it's organized. And like I said, it doesn't require a lot of heavy lifting and creativity on my end.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend it. Anything else before I go on to the next thing?
Yeah, I used WordPress, and it seems like it has similar features with analytics and everything. And it's important to know how many people did what and what's so I really like, and I know another student, April, loves more as well. I think.
Yeah. I just think it's so easy and it just looks so nice.
Yep.
And it's great for, all the trainings that I've done with teachers. I always use this because they have, a common ground to go to that, I can go and say, all right, I gave you a link for, a video for Google Forms. You can go and you can watch the link to figure out how to use it. And it just makes life a lot easier. And it looks nicer than just sending them a Google Doc and saying, okay, here's all the stuff. Everything's in one place and it looks nice. So I like it. I would definitely recommend it to anybody who was interested.
I also like your portfolio. It's very well done.
Thank you.
I hope you guys give me permission to use these links and share with the next.
Yeah, of course.
It looks very, very clean.
So after I used, I also have my own classroom page. And this actually, there's a new, I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's a new, these that I'm using are new sites, I guess, updated. There's an old one and now there's a newer version. So this is all done with the newer version, which I actually really like. It's like cleaner and it's really good for elementary school because it's bright and, kids draw their attention to it. So on here, I make sure, I give an overview of what I'm doing and all of that. I have a homework page that I put things on and all these helpful resources. I have resources for my kids and I have, more importantly, resources for my parents on what to do. And I have a connection to the student council page because I'm also the student council supervisor. So I have that as well. In my school, it's so important, not that it's not anywhere else, but our district is so wide that we don't really see the parents very often. So this is really the way that I communicate with them. We don't have like a homework hotline or anything like that. So this is the best way for me.
What district is it?
Tri-Valley. It's in, it's a little bit past Ellenville.
Is that upstate New York?
It's, are you familiar with like where Middletown is?
No.
Okay. Yeah. It's like an hour. Oh, okay. Yeah. So it's like an hour and a half out of the city north.
Gotcha.
So those are just some of the websites that I like to use when I'm doing things like this. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you, and I didn't put it in my artifacts, but I did it over my practicum, was I have I'm part of the anti-bullying committee in my school, and we have a whole program that we do, and the parents didn't really understand what was happening in the school with this program and what we were doing and why we were doing it. So I made a video of all of the kids and what we're doing and some of the teachers, and I input music. So I just wanted to show you the beginning part of this. And the reason I loved it so much is because some of the kids that are in this, one of them in particular is a selective mute. So I felt like this was a really great way for her to participate in something and not really have to speak, but still be a big part of it. So I'm just going to play the first couple of seconds.
Hello and welcome. Over the past several years, our school has implemented the Obeas Bullying Prevention Program. That we're so much more than preventing bullying, that we work on developing our students' character. So now we refer to ourselves as character in that. Every week, each classroom teacher holds a class meeting. During these meetings, we work on citizenship, building collaboration, and accepting each other for our differences and noticing our strengths.
Class meetings help us learn about bullying situations, resolving conflict, and running away from drama. Class.
So the whole video basically explains, what the program is, why we do it, where our plan is, and where we're going. And this was presented at a board meeting. It's also on our district website. And then I showed it to my kids just so that they could, get the word out to their parents as well. And I actually used iMovie to make this because I feel like I don't know of anything else that makes movies as professionally, just from a home computer. So that's really all I have to present.
Thank
Do
you.
you have any questions for me?
We'll keep the questions because I want Brian to go next, and then we'll brief at the end. Brian, are you ready?
Yeah. I'm just going to share my screen.
And I think we're waiting still for a couple of students, and if they don't show up, I guess they'll come up another time this weekend.
Okay, you guys see?
Yep, we're right there.
Okay. All right, so the first thing that I want to share has basically been something that I've been working on this semester. Spent quite a bit of time during the practicum on this. We have a word gen curriculum at our school, which is basically the students are learning 5 new words each week, academic vocabulary words, and they're embedded in this in a controversial topic. So, for example, should colleges use affirmative action, or should a standardized test be a requirement for high school graduation? And the way the program works is it's a cross-content curricular program. So there's an ELA component or lesson, there's a math science lesson, and then there's a social studies lesson, which is actually a debate. And then the last day, Friday, would be where the kids write an essay, picking a side of the controversial topic and trying to use the vocabulary words in their essay. So when we got the PD on this, I worked with the ELA teacher, and we kind of thought of some tools that we could use to sort of make it more of an engaging experience for the students. So I created this website right here, and I'm just going to click on this one. And so basically, I embedded in this website a Padlet page, a Google Forms quiz to assess the kids on the new words that they were learning. And then this down here are icons that you can click to access a Google slide. So let me just kind of go through this. If I click on any word here, it provides the definition, a picture, a sample sentence, and a turn and talk. So on Mondays, And I've been working with the ELA teacher on Mondays. She actually used this website to teach the new words of the week. And then after each word is taught, we go to the Padlet page, and the students, based on the prompt, write, a sentence using the words. This isn't the best example. We've gotten much better over time with this, but this is actually really a good example of how the kids were using Padlet and using the words. And so we found this to be a really, really engaging way for the students to use these words and learn the words and learn from each other. And it just gave an opportunity for everyone to participate. And we'd have this Padlet page up on the smartboard as we're going through. The other thing is, you take the quiz. We would take the quiz on Tuesdays because, all the stuff they were doing on Mondays just took too long. That you can't take this quiz right now. But I would give them like 8 questions, multiple choice, just to see that they're understanding how to use the words. And the kids that were struggling, we'd be able to see based on the data. And we would provide differentiated instruction for those students. Let me go back here. So I thought this was kind of cool. Let me see. It's not everything is totally updated. We kind of added some things as we went along, but I'm going to go to 2.05. So I'm just going to click on one of these slides here. And on Wednesdays, we didn't like the math of the science lesson too much. So on Wednesdays, we provided them a website on Padlet, and they researched the topic a little bit more. And on Thursdays, my ELA teacher had an amazing structure for the debates. And so we allowed the kids to use Google Slides to collaborate, create their claims, their arguments. And we'd have 2 kids that were speakers, and they would be using the Google Slides as their sort of notes for when they were debating. It's definitely a big challenge to support students with these debates, because they're really just being introduced to these controversial topics. So we're still kind of working out the kinks with the Google Slides and getting the students to use the vocabulary words when they're debating. So it's definitely been a challenge. It hasn't been perfect. And then on Fridays, I'll go back to maybe this one. On Fridays, we have the students use Google Docs to write their essay, and we have them bold the words that they're using. I don't know if you're able to see this quite yet. Okay, there we go. And so we're just kind of celebrating their work, and the real goal is just to really expose these students to these topics, to these words. We're not so bent on them using them exactly right in the correct context, because it's so new to them. And these are the lower half of the grade that we're working with, because the other half of the students are actually doing living environment during the time that we're teaching this curriculum. So this has been a really cool experience for the students, and it's actually something that the rest of the middle school is actually starting to use this website when they're doing this curriculum. So it's been very beneficial to the school and to, in particular, the ELA teachers. One other thing I wanted to share with you guys was, and I think a lot of people have shared this, was their multimedia authoring project, which, like many people, took me hours and hours and hours to do. But this was probably one of my most favorite projects to do in school, just because we were able to learn from each other as we did this. Every week I was clicking on other people's projects and going through to see what it is they were doing. And I just can't believe that using PowerPoint that we can create these kind of projects. So this was definitely, and this was like 89 slides. It took me hours and hours and hours to do. and I had to create audio for this project, and I was trying to act like a robot, like Optimus Prime. And when I shared it with my students, they were cracking up the whole time, but they were fully engaged. Even my students that I have a really, really hard time getting to do work were fully engaged with this program. So that was pretty awesome. So that's really all I wanted to share with you guys today. I didn't have anything else.
Thank you.
Any questions?
All right, now we can take questions, and I will share Daniel's screencast, because he told me if he doesn't show up, we can just let that be part of the recording for tonight's session. And I really appreciate for coming in tonight. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you and learn from you. And I hope we'll continue to learn and continue to explore new technologies together. I actually am going to a conference in educational technology in the next few months. So if you're interested in joining, co-presenting, co-writing, or you write and you want me to edit, let me know. We have a lot to learn in this world of technologies. I'm actually commissioned to write an article on history of educational media, and I was like, wow, so much so was created the last 25 years. I came to this country in 1991, and at that time everything was so new. I didn't even touch the mouse before I came to this country, and now look what's going on. We are using Google Glasses, cardboards, like with $5 cardboards, you're doing virtual reality. So it's an amazing world out there. And thank you for being part of this expedition with us. And on behalf of NYIT colleagues, congratulations for completing your degree. We can't wait to, I guess, see you in the graduation. I don't know, you guys come for graduation, and I hope to meet you in person soon. And if you have any questions to each other, please feel free to ask. And then if you need to continue your own evening, you can go ahead and join your family. But I'm going to put Daniel's screen cast.
Wait, can I ask one question?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you put all your work up like on that website and they have access to the Padlet and to the quiz, do they ever like go ahead and, let's say on Monday, just do the whole week's work or anything like that?
Well, what I do on the website is I will only allow, if you notice 2.06 wasn't available, because that's going to be done next week. But no, my students haven't really done that. I don't think they're not that ambitious, I guess. But we haven't had that issue at all. I mean, some students go home and like will look at maybe the website that I'll share on Padlet to read further, because some of them get really, really competitive when it comes to the debates. And you can tell some kids really know their stuff coming in. Meanwhile, some other kids are really kind of lost, but I haven't had that issue.
Okay, and one more like slightly unrelated question. Did your students say that sex education should be taught in schools?
Say it again.
Did your students say that sex education should be taught in schools?
So that topic, actually, we did that topic right before Thanksgiving because it was a shorter week. So we didn't really debate that one.
Get it out and go.
Yeah. It was honestly, teaching like those topics are, it's hard. It's an inner city school. And I was teaching, and we were doing the affirmative action one, and I was trying to explain affirmative action, and it's really difficult to get into some of these topics with the students. And some of them, a lot of the kids don't really have too much of an opinion on them yet. So it's, we're really exposing them to them. I mean, we're not really looking for them to light the world on fire with, with their opinions and their arguments, but it's really for exposure, if anything.
Nice. I was just curious. Thank
Yeah.
you.
They're eighth grade students, so they're,
my son, 5th grade, had an education, and he came with several years ago, very happy. He said, I had the best day today. We had the best class. I said, what happened? What did you learn? We learned SEX. So he was so excited about getting the booklet, learning about everything. He thought he learned everything, but it was very, educational, very simple things. I think if you approach it from an educational, scientific end, I think it's useful. So they don't have to learn from internet. They don't have to learn from the street.
Yeah.
Learn from, educational point of view.
Right.
So.
No, I'm just wondering because I teach that, and like my kids are like, oh, why do we have to learn this stuff? And
Well,
I'm like,
you teach it's health, right?
Yeah, but I
So,
teach them, that's what I talk about.
Yeah.
So it's just funny because I don't know, it's funny, right? That's all.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting topic to discuss with your students for sure.
It's hard to keep a straight face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Once you do, just like any other topic, I think it will be okay. But they will test you.
Yeah, some students thought that we should be with the ones teaching. I was very thrown off by that one.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Lauren.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Katie, for an amazing presentations tonight. I updated your presentation points a few minutes ago. And if you need anything,
I just have a question. How many total points is it out of thus far? I don't even know if I've completed everything. I think I did. Is it 86?
I will do it one by one with everyone.
Okay.
But I believe, let me just quickly check.
I think I'm done with everything.
You seem to be done everything. Yes.
Yes.
You posted your field experience, which is most important, right?
Yeah.
Field. Yep. So it seems like the only thing you could do for me was all your weekly journals in one document.
Okay, and you want me to share that on Blackboard?
Yes.
Enter that in Blackboard? Okay.
You may have done it in your task stream, but if you could do it on the Blackboard, it will help me.
I don't even know if I did that on Blacks. Okay, all right, I'll look into that. When do I have to get that done by? Do we have another week, right?
We have another week, but don't leave it for a week. Just finish it by Sunday, then have a good weekend. Just to put the copy and paste.
I'm losing you.
Do we need to?
Yeah, no, I won't. I want to get it done.
Do we need to label those?
No. Just put, journals 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, if you haven't done it, put them all in one file.
Okay, so it can almost just look like an essay.
Correct.
Okay.
And then the last one should be some kind of an overall how this class went. If you retake this whole NYIT experience, what would you change if you had that magic wand? Something along that line. If you can give us a brief feedback, that would be lovely.
Okay.
Are the weekly journals different from the weekly discussion board journals?
I think that's what it is.
That's the same thing.
It's the same thing. Okay.
We have
If not, I haven't done any.
I didn't do those. Okay, I'm good.
So don't worry, you still have a week. And in the meantime, check with me if you are wondering about your points, your grades, if you feel like you're missing something, you don't understand my comments, anything, please individually contact me because this session is recording. So I don't want to be
Okay. All right.
sharing. So if you don't mind, I would like to share the last screencast. I'm just going to screen share with you, Daniels, and you're welcome to go away if you have to.
Yeah.
If you have a few
I
minutes.
have to exit.
All right. This is from Daniel.
categories, contributes to development, communication of shared vision, plan development, communication, strategic plans at district and school levels. So just to show you guys a little outline of acceptable use policy, there are some general ideas for keeping school safe. So staff to school access reasons they would section on privacy, systems, there are violations of the policies, schedule target small students and funding, also design contracts and plans for long plans. This is a dual use policy, also goes with digital citizenship standard because it's modeling strategies for achieving equitable access to digital resources for all students and teachers, and it facilitates safe, healthy, and ethical uses of digital information technology. The next project that I want to show you guys is system technology project that I did. That goes in standard to be the digital age learning environments, more specifically select, evaluate, facilitate of that and system strategies to support student learning. So this project that I did in one of my classes shows an assistive technology Google Translate and Google Translate to help English language learners. It was a great tool because you can translate it to many different languages. We even have this one feature where one of the most amazing features of Google Translate is the ability to capture an image of words in a language and immediately translate to a smaller set of functional languages. So it would take pictures of text and immediately translate that into their native language. It's a really cool assistive technology. Google Translate can be downloaded on any tablet, any device for free. Next project I wanted to show you guys was my functions interface project. This goes directly to teaching, learning, and assessment standards. So this was a project that I designed in one of my classes where students would work through like virtual classroom. They would click tabs that would take them to certain locations. There are examples. They click to check. More examples. There's a quiz that they have. That was a 6-question quiz. Things for review, which is great. And it differentiates because kids can work at their own pace. They can go to the grid.
Professor, we can't really hear this. I don't know if anybody else can.
I think we have internet connection issue.
I'm having a hard time hearing too.
Choose to go to the review.
It's very like, it comes in and out all the time.
I know, I agree.
This project.
All right, I think what we'll do is
I
that
also want to show you guys
let
a
the
resource list, which goes directly with content and professional growth. And it's just a Google Doc that has different websites that you can go to. There are resources and for that specific one. As a technology specialist, create a generalized version, or you can make multiples where you'll have one Google Doc for all the science tests, make another math, science, English, whatever. And last, professional development program evaluation. And what I wanted to share with you guys was the PD workshop that I had designed. It was broken down a couple days. All right, sorry about that. Here it is. This is the professional development project where it focuses on science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So related to STEM. It is a 2-day, very designed professional development where participants would be doing very specific directions. Just break down over each day what they would be doing. At each time, there are surveys included. There's many different ways that, as the technology specialist, you can assess the participants. There is a rubric, and there are activities and projects involved as well. And again, that is for the professional development and program evaluation standards. And those are the projects that I wanted to show you guys that support my time here at NYIT. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for enduring the quality. I appreciate it, and I hope we'll reunite again somewhere, sometime soon. But don't forget, 24/7 for the rest of my life, I'm at your service. We are now connected electronically one way or another. If you have a LinkedIn account, Twitter, or Instagram, or Facebook, let me know if you want to reconnect through various means. And if you need any recommendations or any type of support in the future, let me know. Who knows? We always stay connected, and then hopefully we'll bring more educational transformations and innovations to our schools, one student at a time. So thank you for your patience. Have a wonderful rest of the year, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and the happiest and healthiest New Year, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being understanding of deadlines, because in the past that hasn't always been, and it was definitely helpful. When we had report cards due and a project that we didn't worry about.
Oh, I call them due dates.
Yeah.
Deadlines, unfortunately, is the end of the year semester deadlines where I need to also post the grades. But until then, I always take anything you're going to give it to me until the last minute. So
thank you.
Thank you.
I thank you for your patience with me at times when I was a sleepyhead on the other side of the earth. So thank you for sticking around, and thank you for your kind remarks. Yeah, wish you the best. And it's so hard to say goodbye, but go and enjoy your loved ones, and keep packing, Katie. I hope things will get easier on you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.